Well, I'm in a weird place. Well, it's actually not really a weird place. It's a shame. This is what I call a shame. Look at this. If you, yeah. I'm a little heartbroken here for a couple of reasons. These old buildings were on a farm that my grandparents own. My grandfather's dead, but my grandmother's still alive. And this is the back land, the back barn or back farm that was, you know, they put straw and stuff. Used to raise heifers down here, and now it's all falling apart, which is kind of sad because these old beams and stuff, they're worth a lot of money. You know, not that it matters to me. I don't really care. Those aren't really that old, I don't think. They were cut on a circle mill. I mean, they're old, but they're not like ancient old, like the upper ones up there. You can see that those up there, they're hand-hewn. But anyways, a little bit of a story about why this barn is in the shape that it's in. It's really kind of sad, but my cousin was building a house, and she wanted some beams for inside her house, and I guess my uncle decided that that was okay to come in and take the beams out. You know, it's pretty dangerous here, but look at this. I mean, craftsmanship, mortise and tenon, post and beam, peg and beam, or whatever you want to call it. But yeah, this is where they used to raise the heifers. Now, it's kind of dangerous to even walk in here because you see the size of this stuff. It may come down and crush me. And I don't really want to die today, but it's kind of cool to go through here. I don't know, I think it's settled pretty well. And I'm not afraid to go into places like this. So if I do hear things creaking and moaning, then fine. I'm going to die. I'll jump through. I don't even know what this stuff is, but just junk. So anyways, what happened was my cousin was building her house, and they wanted these beams, so my uncle said, okay, go ahead, you can take the beams out of there. And they did, and basically broke the barn's back. When you take the big beams out, what the hell do you expect is going to happen? So, as you can see, the heavy slate roof, and it's been down for a couple of years now, and well, some of it's been down for a couple of years, but like that big beam up there, there was beams that went across this way, as this was a Dutch-style barn, and obviously, instead of putting a roof on it, they decided to just let it fall in. So, anyhow, here's the old corn crib. It was really neat. Really neat place. But my grandfather, you know, it's a lot of roofs to maintain, but my grandfather maintained the roofs. But this is the old Dutch style. I guess we call it a Dutch style barn. And this is like the other half of it. I would just wander around out here, but there's so many sticker bushes. But anyways, yeah, there's just this little overpass here, and you see that the concrete, these are concrete. Now, I don't believe they were originally concrete. I think that those were replaced, those posts, because this here would be the original style, which would have been the stone with cement. I don't think this barn is as old as you'd think it would be, because honestly, that is actual mortar, you know, or cement. It isn't. Well, here's the original stuff. You see this? That's calcium, and they use hot quicklime and just stuff out of the creek. I haven't been in here. I think they milked cows in here at one time. And this is just the back side of the farm. I see a truck rearing over there. I wonder what that is. I may have to go investigate that, but this was how good or well this barn was built. This was the troughs. These were all cement troughs, and it is actually coming out, so this barn's pretty well junk. There's nothing you can do about it, but here's the back corner. And of course, obviously, the backside of the barn. Now, there used to be old pieces of equipment out here, and that's really what I was looking for, were the old pieces of equipment. And my grandfather, he kept the place pretty clean and clear, and down there was a pond, but, you know, of course my uncle doesn't do his, he doesn't have the equipment anymore to do this, so it's growing up into a jungle. But I don't know, but I'm gonna kind of work my way through here. See what we got down here. Now there is a basement beneath me, so I kind of have to be careful. What is that? Oh, that's an old grain drill. It is. Huh, I wonder if I can crawl under that or over that. Oh, there it is. Yeah, that's an old grain drill. Let me see. A little sub-basement down below there. I don't know what kind that is. Looks like a Von Brunt. John Deere Van Brunt. I'll bet you money that's what that is. Yep, I could bet you money. It's all beat to hell now. We got lambasted in under there. Wow. Huh, I wonder if I can get under there. I can. I'm not that old. Adventures and dangerous stuff. My mother would probably be having a conniption fit if she saw me doing this right now. But oh well, she can watch the video along with everybody else. Yeah, it's kind of funny. Isn't in too bad a shape, really. I mean, well, it's not in great shape, but it was put together, the flutes and stuff. This is definitely a John Deere. See that? That's the John Deere design, which they still use today in the meters, roll meters. So yeah, it's probably a John Deere Van Brunt, whatever they called that. Wow, it was put in here and forgotten for a long time. Back in the day, they were just single openers, as you could see. The seed tube was behind it, and what it would do is the seed tube was back here. It would just cut a furrow, and then there were no closing wheels. It was just gravity. Let the dirt go back in, but this building came down on top of it and has pretty well smashed it. I think I could probably get it out of here if I really wanted to. Yeah, I think this thing here flips over somehow. There's two sides to it. I don't know. I don't know. I'm kind of baffled as to how this thing is in here. But it's definitely a John Deere, that's for sure. Interesting. I don't see anything out there anymore. It's kind of sad. To me it's sad because I was in this building not really that long ago. Crawl underneath here again. Where do you get down there? I have to look around to get down there. There's definitely a basement down there. But, well, I guess I could stomp my feet and end up down there. But I don't think that would be the most brilliant idea. Oh wow, look at that. Could get in some trouble, I guess, for just being here. I didn't tell my uncle I was coming. I just kind of showed up here. But anyway, yeah. God, I'd like to get down and underneath there. Here's a well. There's an old feed cart, but there's a well, so it's kind of like a crawl space in underneath there somehow. I almost want to go down there. What's in there? I don't know how far back. Hell, it doesn't go anywhere. It's just right there. But there's the well. Neat. Really neat stuff. Actually, what should happen to this barn is it should be taken apart. It should be taken completely apart. And here, we got critters living in here. Yep. It should be taken apart and then a foundation built back up a new building. I have a wood miser. Maybe I'll acquire this piece of property someday and build me a really awesome building. Oh, look at this. Here's something. Oh, it's got a hole in it. It's a ketchup bottle. That's what that is. So anyway, yeah. Well, there's a house. Now, they rented that out forever and ever. I'll give you a story on that. There was an old man by the name of Mr. Billings. Mr. Billings wore his pants to about here. And he used to scare the hell out of me. At least when I was little. I used to come over here and milk cows with my mother until I was about 5 or 6 years old. We did that. But Mr. Billings was an old guy, and he lived down here. I think he died in the house, which it doesn't matter because, you know, we all got to die someplace. But good old Mr. Billings would come up to the barn every night and see my grandfather while he was milking cows, and my mother, because back in the 1960s and early 70s, my uncle did not live here. 1976, he moved back, and of course, you know, then my mother wasn't needed on the farm anymore, and then she just went back to milking cows with my father at the location that I'm in. This ground over here is second to none, the best in New Jersey. It is really good land. This disgusting thing about it is that my uncle has allowed it to grow up into this and this, and he's renting it out to an individual who just doesn't give a shit. I'm not allowed to farm here for some reasons that I'm not really in the mood to say right now. But, you know, hey, whatever it is, it is. So anyways, not to be a prick, that's why I'm not going to say the reasons why I am not farming it. But I don't have a bad relationship with my uncle. It's just a rocky one, let's put it that way. Yeah, so anyhow, I'm going to, here's the main farm, right there. My grandfather built that building there, and that was where my grandfather milked cows. And someday I will take some video inside there and everything else. Well, here's another house that was on this farm, that green one, and this was where my mother was raised, right there in that house. That's my grandmother's house. And here's this barn. So, and those used to be chicken coops up in there. Years ago I used to sell minerals, and those buildings were used to store, grains and other things. So, yeah. But anyways, on a lighter note, I mean, it's just a beautiful farm. I mean, it really is. I don't know if you can see it too much from here, but yeah, that's it. It's where my grandparents' Pouches own that. If you want to look up Pouches, look up Billy Pouch. He's a dirt track racer. His father, Roy Pouch, well, Roy Pouch was my grandfather's brother, or is my grandfather's brother. I see Roy kind of often. Nice guy. I like Roy. I like Roy a lot. And his wife, Anna Mae. Yeah, so anyways, enough of me rambling on about my family. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed my adventure. I hope you didn't get caught up in there, and please don't worry about my health and safety, because blood equals ratings, and unfortunately I'm not bloody, so I guess I don't rate very much. But anyways, if you like my video, please comment, rate, and subscribe.